Hey everybody, I'm trying very difficult, very, I'm trying a lot to, here we go. I'm trying to help Daniela get her phone going so that we can, there, I think that's working. How you like my new haircut? I had to cut it all off so that I can wash all the viruses away. I left a little bit of the mustache. I never get any hair that grows there. Um, it never does. So, I am really live, Rose. Yes, I am. I'm outside. I am on my mother's porch. My house is just right there, 30 feet that way, and the birds are that way. The current goat barn is straight ahead of me, so there's lots and lots of noises. Just wanted to come to you very quickly, not supposed to touch your face right now, just to talk about the importance of quarantine and what quarantine is and why it is absolutely necessary. Hello, Miss Marge, all the way from Oregon. Quarantine is just where you isolate something away from everything else. It really is that simple. I'm going to be talking specifically about parrots and chickens and goats and aquarium fish and why it's important when you get something brand new, and I'm trying to explain proper quarantine. Okay? This is something that as farmers and pet keepers we need to be very, very careful to always do this. We need to keep animals separate. When we bring new animals home, thank you, Miss Marge. I have a whole bunch of animals to show. Probably not going to show any in this video. But when we bring new animals home, I tricked you. How did I trick you? When we bring new animals home, you have to keep them separate because you never know. That's a macaw in the background. They hear me and they want some attention. You never know what that new animal is harboring on the inside. If you bring home a new chicken, you can look under its wings, you can look under its tail, you can look in its mouth, and you can look for external signs. You can look for a runny nose or stuffy eyes. You can look for external parasites, but you don't know what's living inside that creature. You know, when you bring home a goat, you can check and see if there's little lice bugs crawling around on it. You can turn the eyelids down and do the FAMACHA thing and check for internal parasites. But you really don't know what's inside. You can trust a veterinarian's paperwork that the seller has for you. You can trust the owner, the seller that you're buying from, to be truthful to you, but you really don't know. And so you could bring home a goat that's not showing any signs of being sick whatsoever. Perfectly clean bottom, nice pink eyelids, you know, just perfect coat, excellent shiny hair all over. And then within a day or two, she could develop diarrhea. I mean, like just horrible explosive diarrhea. And that could be caused from, you know, certain bacteria or parasites within her body that normally would not have affected her, but because of the stress from the move and the new food and just being in a new environment, it's stressed her immune system, and then those parasites, those bacteria can come to the surface, so to speak, and cause a flare-up, a big massive flare-up, and then she'll be passing that sickness on in her stool and everything to the other goats. And so when you bring a new animal home, you have to keep it separate from your others, and you have to think about this ahead of time before you even start searching for a new animal. I talk with my hands. I'm keeping my hands too low so you can't see them. That's why I'm jiggling. When you bring home a new animal, you have to have a plan in place of where and how you're going to quarantine that animal. when I bring home a new goat, even if I'm bringing home a new goat from Rose at Wholesome Roots, I have a completely separate building that I can quarantine that goat in. Just because the stress of the move is going to cause her stomach to be upset, and I want to give her time for all that to settle down. Now, speaking about, let's shift over to chickens. You know, there are so many things that can go wrong with birds, and it can make your mind explode, the number of sicknesses and diseases that can potentially be harbored inside of a chicken that looks perfectly healthy, that has no external signs, nothing to show that there's a problem. And so you have to have these things in place, and I know I'm saying it over and over again. You have to have these things in place before you bring home the new animal. You know, there's one of the biggest things that I have struggled with all of my animals is coccidia, that causes stomach upset and diarrhea. And it doesn't always show in a brand new animal until it's too late, until they're already exhibiting diarrhea and they're passing along that parasite to other animals. And it's an easy fix. There's medications available for that, but you have to have that animal separated from your other herd, from your other flock, so that it's not passed along from one animal to another. It'll just go down the line and you'll get one right after another getting sick with, you never believe anyone. That's right. That's absolutely right. You know, there are very few people that I do trust. She's sitting right here. Daniela's sitting right here just off camera. She's monitoring comments. If I miss a question, I don't think I'm going to miss a question with just 4 people watching, but that's okay. And my time's running out. I don't have a lot of time to do this. I just wanted to jump on here with parrots. Parrots, if you are a parrot keeper, a parrot breeder, and if you have more than just 4 or 5 pet parrots, it's important for you, if you only have 4 or 5 pet parrots, to practice safe procedures in quarantine. Even more so if you have more than 10, if you have more than 5 breeding pairs. When you quarantine an animal, especially an indoor pet, if you're bringing home a new parakeet or a new cockatiel or a new macaw, whatever it may be, you're not quarantining that animal if you just put it in the next room over. If they're sharing the same airspace within your home, that's not quarantine. Like with goats, if you just keep a new goat in the next stall over, that's not true quarantine. That nasty stuff can pass back and forth. The viruses are especially difficult to eradicate because a virus is a very special kind of organism. It's alive, but it's not really alive. It can't reproduce itself outside of a host organism. Like bacteria, you can put bacteria on a petri dish with some agar-agar and it's going to grow and live. A virus, it has to live within the tissue of the organism of which it is infecting. And so because a virus isn't actually alive, in that sense, it's very difficult to kill a virus. You can take antiviral medicines, but basically what that does is it keeps that cell, that single cell virus from replicating. That's what the HIV medications mainly do. It doesn't kill the virus. You know, when you take an antibiotic, I was going to say antibacterial, same difference. If you take an antibiotic, doxycycline for a bacterial respiratory infection, that's going to go in there and that's going to kill the bacteria. And it's going to kill it and it's going to kill it dead. But a lot of times viruses aren't that way and it just has to run its course, or you have to boost the immune system. And that's why viruses are so terrible to deal with sometimes, and so that's why it's so important to quarantine, to Keep new animals isolated from your existing animals, generally for a minimum of at least 30 days. The word quarantine means 40 days. If you go back to the root words, the original languages and everything, it means 40 days. A lot of people, when they bring home new parrots, they do 90 days, 3 whole months. And, you know, more the better, I think. Do what you can and just keep things separated until you know that everything is okay. It's not worth the chance. It's not worth the risk of contaminating and spreading diseases. You know, there's too much at stake. I'm going to have to hurry up and get on off of here. I'm over the 10-minute mark. It's longer than I thought I was going to ramble for. Just wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit about the importance of quarantine. Thank y'all for watching. My battery is about to die. I knew it would. Leave me some comments. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. All that fun stuff. Bye-bye.